Welcome to Manifesting Through Motherhood. I'm your host, Lindsay Williams, a self-development mentor, entrepreneur and author, dedicated to helping busy mums like you manifest success, balance and create passive income on your terms. With years of experience in mindset, manifestation, fitness, parenting and business growth, I share simple yet powerful strategies to help you transform your life without the overwhelm. If you're ready to up-level your mindset, build a thriving business and create the life you truly deserve, you're in the right place. You can also find all my books on Amazon, packed with tools to help you manifest and grow. So don't forget to follow the podcast to be updated on all new episodes. And let's get going. There comes a point where the version of you that once fit your life starts to feel too small. And that's when you know it's time to reinvent. This episode is for busy mums and women who feel stuck. The woman who's outgrown old labels and the dreamer who's ready to rise. Does this sound like you? I reinvent myself so many times. Because I am a manifesting generator, I love to do more things, and I didn't realise what a manifesting generator was, so I'm going to have a look that up and see that's you. And it's somebody that likes to do multiple things, and I never feel satisfied. I mean, I've always done my hair and beauty, absolutely love it. It isn't like a job, it's like a passion, it's something so effortless. But I wanted more. I wanted to become a PT, I wanted to work in gyms, I wanted to experience that, because yeah, people can say that you can be a master of none, but why can't you be a master of a lot of things? We can. We have the ability to do what we want, and especially as a mum and a mum with an SEN child, I need to make sure everything that I do fits in for him. So the gym didn't really fit towards the end because it was like early mornings, late evenings, and I was doing my hairdressing and I was getting tired, it was getting too much, and my husband said, you're out a lot at night, and I think them words was like, oh yeah, but my son was getting older at the time, but it was fine, I was bringing money in and it was great. I really enjoyed it, and I kind of reinvented myself and I become a personal trainer, and I think people was like, oh, I thought you was a hairdresser, you stopped doing hair. I'm like, no, why can't I do both? I enjoy both. I work in that health and beauty sector. I want to add fitness into that. But then we had lockdown and everything changed. And then I launched a podcast. I've always wanted to have a podcast, but I always thought it was for like Americans, because I only ever listened to American podcasts and they seem super professional. And I was like, and edgy. And I was like, that's not me. I'm really northern from the UK. Who wants to listen to me? But we have our own listeners. We have our own niche, and it's who are you going to talk to, who's going to be your audience. So I reinvented myself as a podcaster, but everything that I talk about is I'm qualified in, which is a big bonus. I can talk off the tongue, I can create episodes. I become an author, self-published my book, I did 20 journals and planners, and that creates me passive income on Amazon. So it's having the ability to make money while I sleep, and digital products. So I'm still creating some digital products at the minute, and I keep reinventing myself. And I had a client the other day said, I've seen your pictures. I had a mini headshot brand shoot done, my friend. So I've been losing weight, and I'm like, I need some new images. So I just did a couple of images, and then I'm going to have another reshoot in when I've lost the weight and I got to where I want to, because I want to really come back as like this is the new me. I'm reinventing myself. I didn't want to get to 43 and feel frumpy and feel the way I have been feeling this year. And I've 3 stone down now, and hopefully this is obviously the podcast is always going to be out there, so I'm hoping the next time I did need to lose it. It's what people might think it's extreme, but yeah, my BMI was starting to increase. I'm not working in gyms anymore. My whole persona changed. I can't do it with my peer management. I have to be realistic, but I need to keep fit. I need to look after myself. So why can't I reinvent myself? Why can't I be who I want to be? I did my public speaking course last year. I have done so much. I've up-leveled so much, but I've still kept to being me. I'm still the hairdresser, still got my salon. I love to do that. But why can't I do the things that I want to do as well? Why can't I upskill, up my game like other people? That I'm in this online world now, and there is a bit of pressure sometimes, because you're looking around and seeing people up-leveling, and it is a really positive thing in a way, because we are seeing other people being able to achieve these goals. So why can't I be a public speaker? Why can't I be a podcaster? Why can't I be an author? And I've not had to go through loads of hoops. I've done everything by myself, and that's what I teach. I teach people to launch podcasts, to publish books. I do the life coaching. Everything literally just comes together, which is great because I've got the fundamentals. I've actually done qualifications, so I feel comfortable in what I teach, and I've done my life coaching qualification. I've done so much that I've been able to feel confident of bringing it all together, reinventing myself. You can be whoever you want to be, and especially online, you can be a different person at home, because at home, you just feel like mum sometimes. You are a parent listening to this, and you just feel like you're a mum, and you are just, it's the same all the time, and you can have an identity crisis. We can all, I miss the days where I could go kickboxing and karate every night. I can't do that now. I probably couldn't do it physically unless I really retrain myself, and I miss those days so much. But I always have to reinvent myself to be at a really comfortable place and be happy. So some key talking points today I'm going to be talking about is, number one, reinvention is not a crisis. It's a calling. So society tells mums to stay in their own lane, but evolving is natural. From 20 to 30, I became a mum at the end of my 20s. My life changed. I had to give up so much, as in my freedom and time for a small portion of my time. And luckily my husband supports me, and he's on board, and I've got a lovely family that help me, and my mum's always there. I've been able to evolve because other people have allowed me to do it, because I've made sure that they're on the same page as me. And that's the most important thing, is having people on board. And you know what? And it might come across a bit like, I don't know how to put this across, but I've seen some social media posts and some people that I went to school with, some people that I, you've known over the years, and they're 42 and they're still in the same position, and they're still acting a certain way online. But that is our 20 era, and I don't think it's that person's fault. I think if we're not growing, we're falling behind. I think we need to take actionable steps to get to where we need to, but we need to keep up with the times as well. So I think we need to have, when we get older, especially 30s and 40s, that we need to have a sense of direction, where we're going, a bit of identity, what we can do, but we can't stay the same. We can't, if I was the same in my 20s, going out dressing the same, talking the same language, I don't talk nothing like I did in my 20s. I mean, I grew up in a town, I was a bit of a townie, and I talked so much different, a lot faster. I was always really polite to everybody, but I was in a mix of people that we all spoke the same language. As I've got older, I've gone into business, gone into networking. I've done the public speaking course. I've been able to articulate myself a lot better, talk better, understand the life better. Self-development has played a massive key in this. So I'm not the same person. I am in a way, but when I'm 43 this year, and I don't want to be the same person, because that doesn't show growth. If I was the same person I would have been in a very fixed mindset. And it's funny, because I think about why I've done all these things, and I wrote it in my book, which is available on Amazon, Manifesting Through Motherhood. And I think a lot of people, because I did the hairdressing, and I think I've had neighbours and I've had other people saying, oh, you're just a hairdresser. You get that with hairdressers. So I think it's always been in my mind, I can do more, but what's wrong with just being a hairdresser? But I've always wanted to do more, and I knew one day I'd have my time, and it would be something that would just kind of be, happened on default, but is my design. I know I talk about, are you living by default, which is, are you doing something you don't really want to do? You've kind of fell into it because of external factors, or are you living your life by design? I am now living my life by design. I've got my home salon. I'm able to do this and my podcast, and I do my coaching. I'm still growing there. I've got a long way to go, and I still want to create this online presence and platform, but I've done it on my own. I've not invested really hardly anything. I've done it, and I just want to show you that you can reinvent yourself. You can put yourself out there, and you can change whatever you want to change. And you don't need a breakdown to have a breakthrough. Sometimes it's just a quiet nudge that says, I want more. And why can we not have more? I think when we have children, we can have a little bit of a crisis, and we think, is this all we're good for? Especially if you are a stay-at-home mum. I mean, I went back to work pretty quick. I was able to. I was breastfeeding. I took my son to work with me. It was great. He just slept all the time. But why can we not have more? I think we could have an epiphany. We can have this awakening, I think. You know when you have an awakening. My awakening was a couple of years ago after lockdown. I think it was around my 40th. And I thought, I want to do my podcast. I want to become an author. How am I going to do this, Lindsay? What am I going to do? I don't have thousands and thousands of pounds just to throw away. I wouldn't do that. When you've got a family and you want to spend your money on your family. Well, how am I going to do it? I'm going to do research. I'm going to do as much courses, at a low cost that I can. I'm just going to put the work in, and I'm going to just show people, I'm just going to show myself and show up that, I can do more. Because people would probably get bored if I were just doing the same all the time. I just like that. Maybe I do run off dopamine. I like that excitement. And I find it hard now, like when people aren't into self-development. I said to my husband, I do struggle a little bit, because before that I was just, the things were just carrying on every day. But when people haven't got that growth mindset, I really struggle now, because I'm like, why aren't, like, you're moaning and you're whining about things. Like, why don't you follow me? Why don't you just come and, be a part of my world? I invite you into my world to do what I do. And, you can take lots of free nuggets from the podcast. And I've got some freebies in my link tree. I do the one-to-one calls. We can do a full, life mapping for the year. Like, just take, I'm not overly priced. And, people, like, I don't know what it is. I think there's so much resistance all the time. But if you are saying to yourself, I need more, I want more, what can I do? Just a power hour with somebody makes, like, the whole bit of difference. So 2, signs you're ready to reinvent. So this might be you. You feel restless or uninspired in your current routine. Your goals don't excite you anymore. You're craving more creativity, income, freedom, or impact. You've got a next level version of you whispering, let's go. Sometimes we need a nudge. We need to go back to basics. We need to bring back our gratitude. We need to plan some goals, some very small. We can do our long-term goals, but I would start at some like quarterly goals to look at how are we going to get there. Are they attainable? Can we achieve them in the time? Are we going to be able to do it as a busy mum? Do we have to, maybe if we're pregnant or, we've got our children are quite young, we might have to wait, but we might be able to do things in the background. We don't have to just think, I can't do that, because then we would never get anything done. We can start ploughing away, building some foundations in the background for the future. We don't have to stay the same, because we can just plateau, and we can be stuck in plateau for about 20 weeks, and it's really hard to just get out of that. And if our goals are just feeling like I'm bored and I just don't want this, then when I do one-to-ones with people, or, I'm coaching people, they say, I hear their excitement in the voice, and then they send me voice notes that week, and I always respond to people. And I'm like, I can hear the passion and the excitement, and like, Lindsay, you've just made me be excited about the most simple things, even doing the manifesting, the gratitude, and putting my intentions out for the day. You're making me want to. I know I can have more. People might have knocked you down and knocked your confidence, but we don't need to let that happen. We can overcome that. So if you are feeling restless or uninspired, then we can start making changes today. So 3, what reinvention might look like. It could be starting a podcast or coaching business, leaving a job that no longer aligns to you, saying no to toxic dynamics. This is a big one. Up-leveling your health or mindset, sharing your voice, message or story publicly. So I'm just a few examples. You might be at your business level now and you want to go to the next business level. A podcast, books, digital products might be the best thing for some financial freedom. You might want to come out of a job, but you're going to have to put some measures in place. You need a strategy to be able to start having some more income coming in, and then you're going to be able to start maybe reducing your hours. So you've got to do things that work for your family. You can't just steam in and say, I'm just going to quit my job, because it has to feel good and it doesn't have to feel icky. It has to feel aligned. Otherwise you will start panicking and you will go into, like I always say, money flows where energy goes. But if we are putting barriers up there and we start to panic about money, then it doesn't feel right, and then we start to put our walls up, and then we don't end up taking like the next step. You might want to leave a job that, no longer aligns. I always say dreaming is believing, and this is where the visualization comes into it, because we can start seeing a future. You might be in a job, you might be sat at a desk now or out somewhere, and you're like, I don't want to go back to work. And I get this with mums, like, I don't want to go back to work, I don't want to leave my children, I want to have, and it's fine to love your job 1 minute, and it doesn't mean you don't love your job, but it's about what's going to work. Is you going back to work full time going to be beneficial for you and your family? Is it going to be cost effective? Do you want to leave your children all day? Probably not. Who wants to? You might want to get away, but the majority of the people I know don't want to. So it's being able to, so looking at what job you have now, how can you make that your job? I always say to people, and clients say to me, I always remember when you said to me, Lind, create your own job. Who said you can't create a job? Why go and wait for somebody? Like, why go for jobs? If you can go for a job and feel confident enough to go for that job, why don't you create that job for you? Do some research, go and chat GPT, go and ask it, for a bit of honestly, it gives you like business strategies of what you can do and a bit of a business goal. Get some more help and some ideas, and just get that visualization and look at your business, look at your logo, look at what it's going to feel like. What were the people going to say? Look at your pricing structure, what you're going to do. So like, it's just that next level stuff. We can still dream, we can believe, we can have it in our hands, we can see it in the future, because our body doesn't know the difference between real or not real. But if we start to manifest it, our vibrations raise, and then it brings it into fruition. So then you're going to start seeing small changes, because you believe in it, you're opening yourself up to the universe, and you're allowing change to happen. But if you've got a fixed mindset, it's not going to happen, because you're going to be scared. Oh, well, I can't do that because of this, and I'm not going to have the time. But then we need to time block and get up a little bit earlier. That's what I have to do. And when people say I can't do it, I'm like, but I'm running 2 businesses and I've got a child with additional needs. I'm shattered just as much as you, but I have lots of self-care time. I do my exercise. I look after my health. And my next thing is you might want to reinvent yourself with your health. And this is what I'm doing now, is getting back to where I used to be, where I feel amazing. I feel like I want to show up, and my clothes are changing, and the things that I'm wearing, I want to wear different clothes. I don't want to wear the clothes that I've been wearing, because I'm sick of hiding behind baggy clothes. That's not me. So my reinvention now is, by the time I get to 43, I'll probably, hopefully, a little bit lighter. And, I've been able to achieve that maybe 3.5 stone in the last couple of months. And that's reinventing yourself, like on a health. So you're looking at your health, wealth and happiness. Like, the thing for me was always my health. It was always, even going from like working in a gym and different things, I've still had the pain management, but I've wanted to lose weight, and it's just I've been manifesting hard. I've been visualizing my body and what I'm wearing, how I'm going to show up, how I'm going to feel. Like, I'm feeling so different, like a different person. But it's a hard slog, and you've got to just like keep going. Say no to toxic dynamics. It's really hard to raise your vibrations if you're in a toxic relationship, toxic friendship group, or a workplace. So we need to write down what's toxic. How do we cleanse? So do a lot of decluttering, cleansing, and just doing some meditation. Just do something that's going to start getting rid of it. You need to just get rid of the mood hoovers, the energy vampires, whatever you call them. Get them out of your life, because what happens is, when you are surrounded, like I said, like if I go back 20 years and the people that I used to knock around with, or people that, in that mindset of, they're still in that mindset now. If I was still in that mindset, I wouldn't have ever evolved. And I've had to overcome hurdles for people worrying, my mind monkeys come in, and my imposter syndrome. What people think of me? Do they think I've changed? Do they think I'm this? Do they think I'm that? But then I'm like, do I really care what people think? Because I can't stay the same just to please everybody, because I'm in circles of different people. I have to be on level with those people. I have to show up and believe in me and what I do, and I can't be a podcaster and have certain fixed mindset just challenges. I just need to be in a really good place. I need to show up. I need to be authentic and be me and position myself in my business. So it's just finding what works for you. And I'm going to put these in the show notes so you can have a look at them, maybe print them off, and then maybe start writing a little bit of an action plan. And sharing your voice, a message. I like to do stories, and years ago I wouldn't have spoke online. I mean, I speak to anybody now, but I wouldn't have gone online. Not because I'm scared, because I was worried that other people that know me might think, what are you doing? And, we always worry about what other people are going to think. I couldn't care now because people do have really positive feedback. Obviously, you're going to have the green-eyed monsters. You're going to have the people that are going to be like, who does she think she is? And people aren't going to always be your cheerleaders because they're not succeeding and they want for you to stay on their level. And if we were to listen to them people those people all the time, we're never going to grow as individuals, are we? So have a think about that one. So number 4, how to begin reinventing. So number 1, clarity. Journal on what's no longer serving me and who do I want to become. You don't have to show anybody. You can keep this private. How do you want to show up? How do you want to show up each morning? How do you want to feel? How do you want to look? How do you want to smell? Like you just want to feel like you. Are you 100% happy in your heart, in everything, your relationship? You've got to write it down. Because if we don't journal, we don't see the discrepancies and we're not able to evolve and, look at everything and work on those flaws. And it could take a while for you to work on. You might need to see a therapist or, there's so much that it could unpack. So be ready for that because you will see a magnificent shift. You will change and other people will see it. They might not like it, but this is why I do the podcast because I want you to realise that it's going to ruffle feathers and people aren't always going to want to see you change and people not like that because people like you to be that person that doesn't say no all the time, who takes on everything for everybody, but you might be a mum that's absolutely sick of everybody taking advantage of you and you just want to get yourself out there and just be you. I'm reinventing myself at 43, so why can't you? Like, does it matter? I used to have clients at the gym and online. I've got all different ages of people and it tends to be like 40 plus to be fair that I work with that want to do different things that say I love what you do, like I want to do this, I want to show up. So we can do it. Anybody can reinvent themselves. Number 2, courage. Start messy, be brave before you're ready. You've just got to go through the demons, the mind monkeys. You've just got to go through, you're going to have peaks and troughs of feelings, of emotions, and kind of do it, kind of not do it, talking yourself out of it. You always got your inner person, your subconscious is always going to protect you. So that's what we need to then look at. But get yourself ready in a place before you're absolutely ready to go. And people say like men have a midlife crisis, where women don't really, but we have to reinvent ourselves. Like men will go and do something radical and maybe get a motorbike, shave the hair, them types of things that we see on TV. But us women, we seem to right, that's it, we're going to lose weight, I'm going to do this. And that's why us women, we're always putting goals out there. Sorry guys if you're listening, I know I've got a few friends and my friend Stephen listens, but even Stephen, you can reinvent yourself and do different things. And Stephen, obviously I went to meet him, we met through podcasting, he was on my podcast. I met him in real life a while ago. I went to see his show Shadow Dreamer, and he's always reinventing himself. He's been on TV, he's done different things. It just amazes me. I just love people like that just want to be creative and help and support and advocate for the people. It doesn't matter how old you are, I'll still be doing this, whatever age I am. I'm going to reinvent myself. I can reinvent myself every 6 months because that's what I like to do and that's what I want to do. So number 3, community. Surround yourself with people who reflect the future you, not the past. I've kind of already covered that. So just make sure that the people around you are the right people and that they are going to push yourself. And me and my friend Nicola, you need people that are always every day will, hi, how are you? And she's I just love you, so positive. And she's so positive. She's a hypnotherapist and going to have to check her out, model hypnotherapist on Instagram. And she's just a beacon of hope and positivity. And that's what it is. I need people like that around me that, have that positive mindset that will keep me going. And it's nice that you've got certain people that at the time that are like that, because I haven't known her that long. We only met last year and we formed a friendship because we're on a similar level with what we're doing. And she motivates me as much as I motivate her. So it's having that community. I go business networking and I love doing that. So go and find some networking, some new friendship groups. I always say that all the time. I have a parent group at school. I always speak to other mums there. If you've got children and the great thing about me, my son goes to an SEN school, so our children still like parties and playgroups, so I love it because I get to see the mums and we have coffee and chats and it's great. So it's having that, that community around you. I need that still. And number 4, consistency. Small daily steps create massive momentum. Just keep going. I remember a couple of years ago and I wanted a podcast, so I thought, well, I need a niche, I need a client avatar. Who's it going to be? I need to create a group. How am I going to evolve this into a podcast? And I thought, I can't imagine me. I looked in the future, I thought, I've got to write a book, I've got to do journals, I've got to do a podcast. The time has gone nowhere, and I'm like, well, I've got the podcast, done the journals, got passive income, doing my digital products. What do I do now? Do I write another book? Do I do different things? And it's just going to keep going. I can take my time now because I've got the good foundations now. I have to work around my son. I've got to, be the best version of me at home. So just small steps. Don't rush. Do what I've done. If you go back on other episodes and listen to me, and you'll see my growth as well. And the way I used to speak and what I used to talk about, you'll see that. Them small daily steps do make a difference. Having a plan, even just doing your social media, creating content, I've everything out there, so you know what you're talking about. Like today, I've created this podcast because I think things, society, do spark I plan episodes out, but then I'll think, actually, I'm not going to speak about that this week. I'm going to speak about this, and I have a bit of an agenda, so you can do that. So the last one is number 5, real talk. Reinvention can feel lonely at first, but the aligned people, money and magic will show up when you do. I always say that. And I've literally got my multivite down my bra. It was weird because I didn't have it on for a couple of weeks. I couldn't find it. And you know where? It was it must have been in my bag when I went to the gym, and I must have put it in my gym bag. And then it was it fell out. And I was like, oh no, it wasn't. It was in my handbag because obviously if I go anywhere, I don't want to lose it. And then when I put my gym bag in the car, I was like, what's this? Because it was black and the black of your boots black. Oh, it's my multivite. It loses its way for a bit. But loads of crazy things have been happening since I've had it back. So you might not believe in things like that, but the power, you can harness the power through crystals. You can manifest and visualize so much. You're just going to start seeing things happen. I mean, if you don't try any of this, then there's no harm, is there? Just even trying, getting stuck in and seeing what you can do. How can you optimize everything you have in your life? You don't need loads of money. It's just mindset. Start changing mindset. Stop having a fixed mindset. Have an approachable, flexible mindset. That's what I do. I'm always open to new things and new challenges all the time. And you can do that as well. So I'm going to leave you with some affirmations. So you can write these down. Actually, I'll put them in the show notes for you. I give myself permission to evolve. I am allowed to outgrow old versions of myself. I'm becoming the woman or man I was always meant to be. So I'll say them again. I give myself permission to evolve. I am allowed to outgrow old versions of myself. I'm becoming the woman, stroke man, I was always meant to be. And I want you to feel inspired after this episode to think, actually, I can't reinvent myself, because I don't know anybody who's just happy where they are now. People want to change and evolve, and we don't always feel satisfied. And sometimes I do feel satisfied, but I'm like, I want more. I need more. My brain needs more. It needs more stimulation. I need more dopamine. I need to run on more, because my brain is like goes like my son's, like ADHD. He's like constantly, I've got lots of ideas. I'm creative. So I need to make sure that I'm getting it down on paper. I'm doing it through my podcasting and my journals, so everything's coming together. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that episode. So there's a lot to unpack there. I'm going to put some of this in the show notes so you can read through, so it's a bit more visual then. And yeah, it's just, reinvention doesn't have to, it can just start. You can start tomorrow, tonight, whenever you're doing, just start thinking. Go and get yourself a journal. I've got lots of journals on Amazon. Just start writing things down. What do you want to be? And in what time frame do you want to be there? So anyway, I'm going to go now. I've just come back from Devon. I've had a lovely couple of days away. We are going back down there in July, and it's nice to see my mother-in-law and catch up. And my son loves it. He just loves arcades. He loves cuddlies. It's nice to, and it's just like 4 hours there, 4 hours back. And it just seems really quick. We've been there. We've just come back. So yeah, like a day late recording the podcast, but last week when I actually went, obviously I was in a bit of pain last week, so I went back to the gym, I triggered my neck, I was in pain, started to drive down there. I said to my husband, I'll drive for the first hour because he'd been working, and oh no, my neck triggered. So I had to pull over at the services, and he said, I'll have to drive the other 3 hours, and I was struggling all night. So the few days have done me good, and I'm just going to take it easy when I go back to the gym. I was going to go at 6 this morning. I thought, no, I'm tired because we've drove and I'm unpacked and you're just relaxing. So I'm like, it is half term as well, so I'll probably do a lot of working out at home. Still on track. I actually more than I ever have done this last few days, because we had a carvery and I had a small fish and chips, and my son took some of them, which was quite good, but usually I'll have a large. So I am changing, I'm reinventing myself, I'm doing good with my food, and that's what it's about, isn't it? It's just looking at your food and what you're eating, and it's about portion control as well. So, but that's for another episode. So I will speak to you all soon. Have a great week, whatever you're doing. Don't forget to come and follow me, social media, Instagram at Busy Mums Fitness Corner, and TikTok, or you can just send me an email. But I have got lots of resources, and all my books are on Amazon. And yeah, I will speak to you later. Bye. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you feel inspired to take action and manifest the life you deserve. Don't forget to come and join me over on social media and Instagram at Busy Mums Fitness Corner for more tips, motivation and behind the scenes. And also be sure to check out my books on Amazon. They're designed to help you manifest your dreams and grow. And if you're ready to take the next step and work with me, you can head over to my Linktree for all the details. Let's make magic happen together. So until next time, keep manifesting and stay amazing.